Yeah, lights on, game time, let's break it all down. From the spreads to the lines, who's up, who's down. We're crunching the numbers, calling the plays, talking all sports in a big time way. Yeah.
Welcome back to Spreadsheets Sports. It is 11:15. 11 is on the slate for NFL.
We're all in, no doubts, no fears.
Man, this is going to be an interesting weekend for us. For entertainment value, man, I would say the whole slate is worth watching. Like, you can't go wrong with any of the games that you would choose for tomorrow to watch. Anybody in the 1 o'clock slates, anybody in the 4 o'clock slates, Sunday night football, Monday night football. It's thrillers in the Manilas everywhere. This is going to be a great NFL Sunday. Bet with caution. It is a heavy slate of division and conference games. All the games matter. The records of the teams that are in these division games matters heavily. Some of them playing to knock somebody down. Some of them playing to put themselves even further up. Weather is a little bit of a factor. Oh man, this is gonna be crazy. We're gonna have some fun and we're gonna make some money. We're gonna watch some football. I'm excited. I really am. For those that are here for the first time, I hope you guys enjoy the content. I take my time to look at the data and deal with the numbers very objectively to help understand what the possible outcome of these games may be. Outcome as a team, points, spreads, money lines, if you're in that gambling world, or player props if you're in that part of the gambling world and you figuring out like what's a really good prop to go with something else, or parlays that you guys are trying to build. Like, I'm just here as a reference point for you guys. Don't listen to me. Don't take my word. Just challenge what I tell you is a good bet and use it as a research point. You may get it right and I get it wrong, or I might get it right and you get it wrong. Who knows? Who cares? As long as we all can help each other with making some really good choices and finding some really good value on the marketplace. But show that I prepared for you guys tonight is going to literally be all about looking at the slate, and there's 6 games that I pulled out that are just like I just don't really know which way these games may go. But I found some value in the games, even though I'm not really pulling the trigger on a money line for them. But there's some that I'm curious to see what possibly could be some upsets. There's a lot. I've counted 6 possible upsets in the slate for Sunday. 6. I may call a couple throughout this show. I mean, part of the show that I put together for you is on each game that I have the matchup for, and a couple of games from the slates. I'm going to give you some things that I'm considering to make a bet on, and you can take that at face value, or you can fade it and go with something completely different. But I'm going to tell you what I see and what I think has value and how I'm going to try to capitalize on this. But anyway, let's dive into this particular show. Those that are returning, you know my heart is with you. Thank you guys for helping the show to grow. I'm also going to start out as well talking about the marketplace and talking about some of the guys that are in the marketplace and their win ratio in comparison to Spreadsheets Sports, and just to get an idea of where everybody is and how they're calling these games, because it's about to get really murky. But let's jump into the show. Hit the pause button if you need to go make you something to drink. We're about to get real serious and talk about these numbers and these games and this data. And roll something up if you need to do that. Get yourself together. And then if you've pressed play and you're back, let's get to it. This is the win ratio tracking that I've been doing. So like with this, every week, I gather the information from these platforms, these other platforms, because this is kind of my competition right now. I'm trying to stay with them or beat them if I can. And I have had some weeks where I've done better than a lot of these guys, but still a lot of work for me to do. But running through this to be real quick because I want to jump into the slate. This grid over here to the side of me, this is the actual winning percentage per week for per entity. Okay. You have data, which is the formulas that I have and the algorithms, and it makes its own picks. You have covers.com. You have DR, which stands for D rate. Really good calculation website for games, all sports. Then I averaged all those together just to see if that helps as a baseline. And then there's T Black, which is my individual picks, okay, in regards to what I choose off of what I think I see. And then sometimes it's going to match the data, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's going to match a couple of these other guys, but it's what I see. And those are my selections. And then there is GG, which is Greek Good Iron. And then you have RT for Ross Tucker. I love those shows. I'm not getting paid for those plugs, or I'm not getting paid for covers or D-rate either. I just wanted to share with you what I like. You find what you like. Go find those places. Go find those websites. Go find those shows. Go find those magazines that you like. I'm not promoting anybody. I'm just being transparent. But as it pertains to how I'm weathering among the gods of this industry, right? Because RTGG covers D-Rate, these guys are sharks. They call the games at a high level. If whoever you're following is not above 68%, um, or occasionally gets above 68% of the wins, then you might want to try to find you some alternate places to go. And there's thousands of places that you can go to start that search. But the graph that's up top, this is literally how each week looks in regards to progress. And as you see right now, um, the data is averaging at 66% win rate. So that's pretty good. Covers is at 59%. D rate is at 65%. Averaging D rate, covers, and data together, if you average those together, that's at 60%. If you look at T Black's win ratio, I'm at 68%, 62% for GG, and 66 for Ross Tucker. And then basically, if you put that together, you can see what that collectively would be in order. Um, good job, Spreadsheets Sports. Good job, Spreadsheet Sports. We are in the running. You are in the right place. I love what I do. I take pride in my craft of being a capper. I'm always trying to perfect my craft and get even better than I was the day yesterday, right? Like adjustments, formulas, research and development, networking, being a mentee to other guys that's really doing it out here. Like I bring all of that back to you guys and in the form of my win ratio this year. But anyway, let's dive into the slate. I just want to share that with you just so you know who you're following. I'm a baby to this, but I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. You're at the right place. But let's dive into the games and let's see what we got. All right, here's our slate. Um I'm gonna spend most of the time on the individual games that I'm pulling apart. I'm gonna run through what I like for these games, and for the ones I'm not like pulling the layers back. Um, and just give you an overview and just some things I like about the game and what possibly may happen really in a synopsis. Okay. I'm going to do the deep dive on those 6 games that I told you I would look at with a magnifying glass. But starting at the top, we already have the Patriots game that went the way we thought it would. Drake May had an amazing game. 281 passing yards. This guy's amazing. The Jets were the Jets. I know they can't wait until this season is over, but it is what it is. Good win for the Patriots. Drake May name is in the MVP list. Couple more games on the trend that he's on. He can secure that. I love that for him. If you haven't watched the Drake May game, the whole thing, find one on YouTube and watch this guy. And you'll see why people are talking about him the way that they're talking about him. Commanders and the Dolphins game. The data has the Dolphins as the winner, but they do have the Commanders as a possible winner. or at least giving them a rough way to go. Now, and my apologies for anybody that's new to the channel. When you look at this chart, and I put this here for you to screenshot, and that way you don't have to listen to me talk, okay? Just to be convenient for you. But here's the thing about this chart. On the far left is your weather and your temperatures. Then I have what time each game is, and then I have a C or CD for conference or conference division next to the team name. I'm going left to right. And then obviously the green and the yellow on the highlighting of the team name means the green means I'm choosing the green means that data has chosen them to win. The yellow means that they're contenders. Okay. Then you have your odds. Then you have your team points from the books that are out there. Also the rank of the teams side by side, estimated score based off of the data and the algorithm, average probability between different percentages of probability between 5 different sources for as the user's a baseline. The line LN battle stands for line battle of the offensive line versus the defensive line. Y means that they do win. N means that they lose. SKING is skilled player injury. That's a grade that I give them on that. That's not how many players are out there to skilled. That's just a grade that I have for them. And then we have their WL RATs percentages win-loss ratio at home or on the road. So that just represents how they perform on the road or at home. Now, back to the slate. Commanders have a chance to win. I like the Dolphins in this game along with the data. Overseas game, those are always low scoring. I just don't think that either team is really going to be into it. It's not a conference or division game, so it's just really for bragging rights and entertainment value. I like the Dolphins to win. Too many things going on in the Commanders with their injuries. If Daniels were to come back, would I go with it? Maybe, but not definitely. I'm curious to see how he's going to be able to perform with the left side and the mental part of being severely injured the way that he was. But we'll see how he performs when he does play. As it stands right now, Mariotta's going to be there. He's not that bad. And with the rest of the weapons, Ertz, Debo, like they can make something happen, at least be productive in this game. But I think right now, a Cheney, Waller, Tua, they're clicking right now. And I think that the Dolphins can pull this game off, but still a low scoring game in my mind. Next game up is the Giants and the Packers. We have some weather that'll be affecting this particular game. Have a little bit of rain, 44 degrees. It's going to be in this game. Still a 1 o'clock game. Sun will be out. The books think that the books think that the Giants are severely underdog. Winston's going to be playing. And Jameis Winston, if you haven't seen him play before, he's a wild card, man. He's a wild card. The fact that there's a weather here, I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants could pull off a win in this game. I'm not calling it upset, but the Packers are pretty decent. Jordan Love and the band put up a really good show. Micah Parsons on the defense. The rest of the defensive line is average. Micah Parsons is a superhero. They're definitely going to try to apply some pressure and probably make Winston have to move around a little bit. But what they don't know, if they don't know, is that Winston is okay with moving around. He can extend the ball and make something happen on the other side of that. So, exciting game. I would go with mainly points in this game. Take the Giants for 14 points, 13.5 over. If you did the spread, I would take over plus 10.5 for the Giants. I don't see the Giants getting blown out because they're just wild cards. They have nothing to lose. They're going to give us a show. I think they lose, but I think they're going to fight. So that's what I got for that game. Bucks and the Bills and the Bengals and the Steelers. We're going to pull under the microscope and see what we got with these particular two games because I think there's some interesting value in this. Coming into this game, both teams are coming off of a loss. Both of them are dealing with some injuries. It's just that the Bills don't have as many on the skilled side. So it's kind of business as usual. And I would say it's business as usual for the Bucks minus Mike Evans because Mayfield was actually doing pretty good before Evans got hurt and was out with that last injury. And before that, Evans wasn't even, he was already out. So I think Baker is going to give us a nice productivity on his side, but the thing I'm worried about with him is him sitting down and taking the sacks. Last couple of games, the last 3 games to be exact, that I've watched him, like he just doesn't. He's not taking sacks because there's nothing else to do. He's just sitting down and taking a sack, and I don't understand why. Like, bro, just step out of the pocket, step up. It collapses behind you, and then that vacuum, it pushes you out, and then you got at least 5 to 7 yards that you could run, or fake the run and then pass and dump it off to somebody. Like, and there's all, and you got targets. Ibuka, K. Dotton, and they open. Why are you not dumping off to them? I do not know. But that's what I foresee in regards to production on the Bucs side. On the Bills side, Josh Allen, I like him for the 230, 237 in passing yards, only because the Bucs allow 233 yards on receiving. They're a number 13 defense. However, they do a lot of blitz. They blitz you about 12 times per game. But the thing about the Bucs with their blitz volume is that they don't convert. They only touch the quarterback 21% of the time. I don't know if that's good enough. Okay, against a Josh Allen, because he actually is itching to run. He's looking for a reason. Give me a reason to run, and I'll run it. I'll run it 8 yards and get a first down and try to punish somebody in the secondary. That's Josh Allen's mentality. He plays hero ball, but the flip side of his hero ball is that when they get behind, or he feels psychologically behind, like momentum wise, he forces errors and he'll give up an interception. An interception is the only hope for the Bucs to win this game. If they can get ahead at some point in the first half, force Josh Allen to get in his head, and he feels like he needs to rush it. The Bucs get an interception. They have to convert. I don't know. I mean, you got number 14 defense versus the number 13 defense. They kind of the same on defense. They both gonna give each other some struggles. I also like in this game field goals. I like I like over 2.5 field goals on this game at a decent price. You probably get it for like negative 180 or negative or minus 200. But I like that in addition to Cade Otton for 30 yards, pay the juice on the 30 and add that with the field goal. And then I like the Bucs for 14 points. 17. I'll give the Bucs 17 points in this game with the field goals. Yes, I will take the Bucs for 17, the field goal bet, and Cade Otton on one ticket for this particular one. Ultimately, do I know who's going to win the game? I mean, the data says it's the Bills. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucs can pull it off on the road. They do win 80% of their games on the road. But the Bills also win 80% of their games at home. I think the refs are definitely going to be involved in this game. Um, the other advantage that the Bills have, which leads me to lead toward the Bills, is the Bills' offensive line wins the battle against the Bucs' defensive line. So I think they can protect Allen enough for him to pick everybody apart with Shakir, Keon Coleman, Hogg. I like Hawes, and I actually would add Hawes as a swap out for one of those 3 I told you, because he's off the radar. But Hawes for 12 yards, you could probably take him for 20, because it's probably going to be Hawes for like a short pass underneath the coverage or an out route on the short side of the field, something like that. And he gets it just to get 18 yards and get another 3 yards after catching the ball, something like that. I like him for that. But that's what I got on this game. Let's drive into the other game and look and see what we got for that. The Bengals and the Steelers game, I think, is going to be interesting from a division perspective. And here's why. The Steelers need to win. The Steelers need this win for their division. The Ravens are on a tear right now. They're back, and they're making it really uncomfortable for the rest of the AFC North. And I think Flacco is still a Ravens player at heart. And I think he's going to try to pull this off because the Bengals don't have playoff hopes, not even wild card hopes as it stands right now with 3 wins at week 11. Like let's just be honest about that first and foremost. However, I could imagine Flacco is like, I'm going to do this for the Ravens, and he's going to try to knock off Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin. And maybe Flacco retires after if Flacco pulls this off in this game and whatever the rest of the season looks like, I like that on his way out as part of the end of his narrative and his story and career in the NFL is that he knocked off the Steelers for the Ravens to inch their way back into the playoff run. And I like that as part of the end of his story for the NFL. We'll see if that happens, but that's that. That's all like supposition, right? Like that's what we think could happen. Now let's talk about data. Let's talk about what we really got in front of us. Both teams are dealing with some injuries. The Bengals are better off on the injury side, i.e., their quarterback Burrow is out, right? But Flacco being in there from that trade that happened, that was godsend. They have been very, very productive since since Flacco has arrived. And I think they keep up with that productivity. I like Noah Fant and Chase Brown, I think, are going to be Flacco's saving grace. And I think he dumps off to them a lot in this particular game, mainly because he's dealing with a Steelers defense that's going to blitz like 14 times in this game. And even when they do blitz, they also do put their hands on the quarterback at least a quarter of the times they get back there. So with that being said, and the Bengals losing the battle at the offensive line, I definitely can see the blitz penetrating the Bengals offensive line. But Flacco is good on his feet, and he can extend the plays. And like I said, dump off to Noah Fant or Chase Brown. Just something as a possible safety net for him. But on the other side of that, you got the Steelers with a really, really good defense. I would say even though they're number 19 defense, they play like a top 10 defense. They're really tough. They still have the culture of the Steelers mantra there of being tough on defense. They've had some challenges and some really tough games up until now. The rest of the season is not easy. Man, do I think Aaron Rodgers can have a good day? Yeah. I mean, the Bengals are allowing 260 yards in passing. Aaron Rodgers should get at least 240, 250. I won't give him 300, but I'll say 240, 250 out of Aaron Rodgers. You got Metcalf as a big target. You can dump off to Jonnu or to Pat Freiermuth, right? Like you got some options. Then you got Gainwell that you can dump off to. Rodgers is not that mobile, but I know he's trying to preserve himself and he's older and whatever. I get it, but bro, you're gonna have to move around that pocket, and he's not. He hasn't. That just hasn't been a part of the package for him. He's instead of extending the plays and running out, you know what they opted out to is dumping off really fast. Like if you notice, Aaron Rodgers is doing a 2-step drop instead of a 3 or a 6. Especially when he's up against a team that has a lot of blitz. And with this team having a lot of blitz, he's going to do the same thing that he just did 2 weeks ago, where he's just taking a 2-step drop and dumping it off really, really quick, which is why I think Pat is going to be a great target for everything. And if he can bait everybody in on that, he got a big target with Metcalf that he can throw over the top or out route. That's what I like in regards seeing what paths are going to be there for production for both teams. The data is telling me Roman Wilson is going to score. I might take them up on that because I just envision that game being that way. And the other big factor in this game is rain. It's light rain. It's not heavy rain, so it may be a sprinkle in the beginning or somewhere in the game, but it's not going to be a downpour. I don't think it's going to be enough water to like really alter the game's trajectory, but it's going to make things a little bit more nagging, right? It's going to be the rain's going to be more so of a nagging distraction, but I don't know which team. But I think that also gives a little bit of an advantage to the Bengals with the Flacco and Chase Brown, Noah Fant, early dump off with the rain. Like Higgins also involved. Like I just like this rain being in favor of the Bengals. But let's not fool ourselves as well. The Bengals do only win 25% of their games on the road. They suck. And they're up against a team that at least wins half of their games at home. It's the Steelers. It's tough to win in Pittsburgh. The fans alone. We're not even talking about the refs and anything like that, but ultimately, the Steelers should win this game. I have some tickets with the Bengals at least getting 17 points. I like field goals in this game too. I would take over 2.5 field goals in this game. Either over 2.5 or under 4.5. But I think both teams can score against the other entity in the red zone. But anyway, that's my take on this game. Let's jump back into the slate right quick. Coming back into our slate, next game that we have up is the Texans and the Titans. CJ Stroud is out as of now. Injury report. Maybe he pops up in the morning, but I doubt it. I doubt CJ Stroud's in. I think we're going to be without him tomorrow. But I still like the Texans without CJ Stroud against the Titans and Cam Ward. I do like Cam Ward for rushing yards, though. I would take him for like over 12 yards rushing. On the Texan side, I really only like 17 over. I would take 16.5 points, pay the juice, add in Cam to rush, and you should have a decent two-leg ticket that you can add in with a round robin or parlay. Bears and the Vikings. Let's look at this one under the microscope because this is going to be pretty interesting. I think it's going to be highly competitive, and I'm scratching my head. I'm trying to figure out who might win this game, but let's see. The thing about this Bears and Vikings game is that a lot of us think that the Bears are due for a loss, and I would have to be in that group. Okay. However, let's deal with what's in front of us, which is the numbers, the data, because you can't argue with that. We have two teams that are both trying to find their way through the rest of the season and also gaining more and more confidence. And, that's kind of who they are. But the one thing that's different on the Viking side is that they're dealing with attrition. They're dealing with their quarterback being out and out for the season. No hope of him coming back. Still got the Jordan Jefferson show. You still got Naylor. Like, you still have some weapons. So I'm curious to see how this quarterback change is gonna impact the Vikings. It's not the first time it's happened in this season, so not going to be a huge shock for them. They played pretty good when their starting quarterback went down, but I still like the Vikings to be productive. Their defense is actually pretty good. They got a number 12 defense. They only allowing 192 yards in receiving. So their secondary is pretty good. Now they do have some challenges on the run. They're allowing 126 yards on the ground. That's not good up against a DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift may exploit their run issues that the Vikings have. And that will help the Bears on their way to try to outscore the Vikings. Can the Bears defense though hold back the Vikings? I mean, not really, because as crazy as that is, the Bears have a number 27 defense. The Vikings should be able to put up at least 21 points. Should be able to. Not from the players that the Vikings have, but from what the Bears are allowing. And I think the Bears' game plan consists of being okay with allowing the scores, as long as they can return the favor and run it up. That poses us to a possible really big shootout in this game, and we may see 29-27, 27-24, something along those lines are what I'm thinking that we might see in this game. I don't see a 21-20 game, but it could be. I just don't think the defenses are that tough that they could both I just don't see how either defense can really stop scoring, but they may not. They may slow it down where it's not like a real crazy shootout. So With that being said, injuries aren't that big of an issue. You got a number 15 Bears up against the number 21 Vikings. The Bears win the matchup at the O-line, but they do lose the battle on their D-line. So that means that they won't be able to really penetrate on the pass front to even upset what the Vikings got going on trying to pass. And he may be able to sit back there and pick everything apart. That's a possibility, especially with the Bears allowing over 240 yards in passing and in receiving. When you allow 240 yards in receiving, you don't win the battle at the line. You make things very in favor of the Vikings, okay? Which is why I understand the books wanting to go that route at minus 150. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears win this game. I wouldn't be surprised enough that I'm going to call an upset alert in this game. I'm going with the Bears to win this game. I think there's going to be more production in this game and that they'll be able to literally put things in their favor. They're in a dome. Weather's not going to be an issue. Everybody's going to be running pretty fast. The other thing that I think is in the Bears' favor is going to be that they win 60% of their games on the road versus the Vikings, who only have won 25% of their games at home. And you got an injured quarterback. It's just so many things going on. It is a conference game on top of everything. You're coming into this with 4 wins against a team that has 6 wins. We're waiting on the Bears to lose a game, thinking that they're due for one. But with that being said, call me crazy, sound the alarm, the psycho alarm, whatever you want to call it. I'm going with the Bears to win this game. Plus 130, and I'm going to add on probably Naylor for 30-yard receiving. 30 yards receiving for Naylor, 15 yards rushing for Caleb Williams. Money line for the Bears. I love that ticket. I want to find a way to add some field goals into that because there's some room for field goals. I mean, the Bears are doing 2 field goals a game along with the Minnesota Vikings, and both of them that's a part of their offense to try to get points on the board. If I can find 2.5 field goals for this game on top of the other stuff I just told you, that's going to be my ticket for this game. I think it's a really good one. And I mean, if you don't want to go that risky, just take everything I said minus the Bears winning. Take everything I said. Don't do the money line for the Bears if you need, from a risk tolerance perspective. I don't see this as risky because the numbers speak to me in regards to why I'm validating why I think it's a good path to go with the Bears winning this game. But that's where I'm at with this game. Let's look at the next one. Panthers and the Falcons game. I'm going to go with the Falcons on this one. The Panthers won the first game. They demoralized the Falcons, but they are home. They win better at home. Penix just had a bad day that day. I think Bijan is going to have a really good game. Although Dowdle is going to have a really good game as well, I will take the Panthers like I did last week for at least 13.5 points. That cash, they can do that. Bryce Young, with the band that he has, I think that he can pull off 13.5 points. 2 touchdowns, maybe 3 field goals and 1 touchdown. They get them in the red zone. They get field goals. I like that. I like the Panthers defense also getting them back and keeping the offense in the game and getting some turnover on downs, forcing the punt to get back the offense back on the field for the Panthers. I'm going to take 13.5 for the Panthers. I'm going to take Bryce Young for rushing over 11 yards. Those would be my 2 things for this particular game. I'm not going to take a winner or a money line bet on this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers could win. Not calling the upset on that one, but it could happen. Falcons are going to play their heart out. And we'll see where it goes. It's in the dome. Weather's not an issue, but that's what I got for this game. Chargers and the Jags. I like the Chargers. Justin Herbert's playing really, really good. Jags have way too many injuries for me to feel comfortable with choosing them in this particular game. It is a conference game, not a division. If it was division, I might change my mind. But with Travis Hunter being out for the rest of the season, Trevor Lawrence is going to try to play hero ball, and you probably could take rushing yards for Trevor Lawrence. I'm not going to. I'm going to actually just Justin Herbert for over 225 yards in passing, and I'm going to take over 20.5 points for the Chargers, and I would take the Chargers on the money line for minus 150. That's all I can really pull out of this game. I mean, you possibly could also do over, I would say you could take over 2.5. You could take over 2.5 field goals in this game, because we got to remember how the Jags played the Chiefs when they beat the Chiefs in that game, right? And it's still AFC. So, yeah. I'm just not confident enough to take the Jags for points, though. I mean, if I could find any points for the Jags, it would be 13.5. But I'm more confident in 20.5 for the Chargers. But that's what I got for this game. Let's pull back the curtain and look at the Seahawks and the Rams. It's going to be a really, really, really good game. The Seahawks game is, man, as interesting as it gets, and it's mainly because I don't, I haven't met anybody that I've talked to that can talk about this game real easy and be able to be like, oh, it's going to be this way. Like, I haven't found that person yet. Um, in light of the Seahawks being completely dismantled last year, you got to be like thoroughly impressed with their progress so far. Okay. Or at least I am, opinion wise. Geno gone, your coach gone, Metcalf gone. Like, they dismantled their whole team, and then Sam Darnold comes in and Mike McDonald, and they figure it out. They figure it out to the point where they have 7 wins. And not just 7 wins, but 7 wins, and they're impressive, and they're aggressive, and they're accurate, and they're consistent. Sam Darnold looks great back there. Charbonnet looks really good as a supporting cast. Cooper Cup production. Rashid Shaheed, Zacchaeus, not Zacchaeus, Charbonnet, like, it's all coming together. It's working itself out with the Seahawks, man. I really like them as a team. I mean, the data has them ranked as a number 4 team. The data has the Rams as a number 2 team. Now, on the other side of the ball, man, like, these guys have a number 7 defense, but then the Seahawks have a number 8 defense. Yeah, number 28 special team in the Rams versus a number 2 special team in the Seahawks. Both of them blitzing like 7 times a game. Both of them touch the quarterback 40+% of the time. Man, if this thing ain't so close, it's almost like they're standing in front of a mirror looking at each other. Even on the injury side, they both have almost a similar grade for injuries. They both kick a field goals about the same amount of times per game. Weather's not even an issue in this game. Who has the better offense? Number 8 offense versus the number 1 offense in the Rams. Puka Nacua is back, and he's looking quite impressive. Matt Stafford's looking really, 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 really good back there in the backfield as well. I mean, the only other thing I see is this, that both teams are also dealing with the fact that their offensive line loses the battle at the line. So with that being said, here's my pick for this game. I'm going to go with Cooper Kupp, 20 yards receiving. I'm going to go with Matt Stafford for 200 yards passing, pay the juice, add on the other stuff. I like under 4.5 field goals. I like 19 points for the Seahawks. And then we're going to go with Seahawks to win, upset alert, plus 160. I don't see how I don't go with it. The Rams are really, 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 really good, but the fact that they're struggling with winning at home, um, I like the production from the Seahawks. The Rams have a better coaching staff, but I just think the Seahawks are going to be able to pull this off. The Seahawks are coming off of a win. They believe in themselves. The Rams already believe themselves before the win they just got. I just think that one piece of winning on the road means that they're coming into this game almost like a motto. So for that reason, I'm going with the Seahawks. Call me crazy, but I'm going with the Seahawks for the win on this game. The Rams are going to put up a really, really, really good show. I'm not taking the points from the Rams because they're the favorite team, and they're not paying that good for any of the favorite teams. But I'll take 19, maybe even 20 and a half for the Seahawks. The highest I would go with 20 is 20 and a half for the Seahawks for points. And like I said, under 4.5 field goals. But that's what I got for this game. Let's jump back into the slate and see what we got. So for the rest of the slate, we got the 49ers and the Cardinals. Brissett looked decent enough for the Cardinals. I would not be surprised if the Cardinals can pull off this win. The 49ers are still banged up on the road. They win a lot of their games on the road. They win 67% of their games on the road. The Cardinals actually win the battle at the offensive line, which is going to allow Brissett to really like sit in the pocket and pick things apart. And he's been looking pretty good as a sub right now. Um, he looks pretty good, man. Like I think that they can put up some points. I would even go as far to say that I'll take the Cardinals for 17 points. I'll take them for 16.5 over. Um, that's what I got for this game. I just don't really see a whole lot more other than that. I like the Ravens to beat the Browns. That's going to be a tough game as well. Division game, tough. And it's raining. Weather's messy. Maybe some fumbles. Derrick Henry's going to have a good game. Lamar's going to have a good game. I think a kid named is Mitchell. I think he is back as well as another option for running back. Like the Ravens should dominate this game even with the rain. The rain by default makes them go run, and they should be able to beat the Browns on the run. However, the Browns have a top 5 defense, so they may be able to make things really uncomfortable for the Ravens. But I just can't see the Ravens getting down to the red zone and not converting. But it could happen, and even if it does, then we'll have ourselves a field goal game. And I even like a field goal game for this particular one. But give me the Ravens on this one. I'm not going to take any points because I'm just not sure which way it goes because this is a dirt dog rival. The Browns, actually, as crazy as it is, wins better at home than the Ravens do on the road. I'm not quite ready to call an upset on this one, but I can't even see it happening. But if it did, I'm not going to lose my mind over the upset. But if they lose, they better hope the Steelers lost also. The Ravens better double dog hope that the Steelers lose tomorrow if they lose this game. So we'll see. It should be a really good game to watch. Chiefs in the Broncos game. Let's dive into that and pull that one apart, and then we'll talk about the Lions and the Eagles and wrap this up and get up out of here. I can't say that I have been waiting for this game, but I can tell you that I can't wait for it to be over. This is going to be a tough game for the Chiefs because if they lose this game, then playoffs become that much more of a non-reality for them. They're going to be right there at the bottom with the Raiders in that division. NFC West is a tough division, man. And even when the other teams are sorry and they suck, they play you hard. This is complete opposite. This is a really, 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 really good Broncos team with a great quarterback and a great coach. like in a really good win record right now. This is they coming in this with 8 wins against the Chiefs with their 5. Chiefs struggled at the beginning of the season. They could barely score over 21 points. Let's not forget who they really are and where they came from. Rashid Rice was out until week 6 because of suspension. He came back, and now they're getting the production, and they're adding him into it. Then Pachenko goes out, right? And then they had to bring in Edward Tolaire. That's where the Chiefs are right now, personnel-wise. Kelsey's doing his thing. I still think he's a little distracted with his personal life and things he has going on that aspect. However, he's still a target that Mahomes still likes to use. Mahomes has had a decent season. I would say he's top 5 in quarterback production in regards to rankings. Not number 1, not number 3, but he's in that top 5. So I can think of other quarterbacks that are doing a phenomenal job and much better than Mahomes right now. And just off of stats, period. Period. I know he's State Farm with curly hair, light skin. I get it. But there are other quarterbacks that are doing a much better job than him. Okay. Now, as it pertains to the matchup, number 8 Kansas City Chiefs versus the number 11 Broncos. And that's the data doing those rankings, not me. It's not personal rankings. You got a number 5 offense with the Chiefs versus the number 14 offense with the Broncos. Data. Number 6 defense with the Chiefs and Spagston in the house versus the number 1 defense with the Broncos. And they also do spin the blitz. They send the blitz more than Spag does. Then you go down to the quarterback, right? And with the quarterback scenario, you got Andy Reid doing a quarterback whispering for Mahomes, and you got Sean Payton doing quarterback whispering for Bo Nix. Bo Nix will run, and he's just as effective on the run as Patrick Mahomes is. Oh, God, this game is going to be crazy. Might be low scoring. The other advantage that the Broncos have in this game is that they win the line both on the offensive side and on the defensive side. So they can protect Bo Nix and let Bo Nix sit back there and pick things all the way apart. He can get it to Sutton. He can get it to Evan Ingram. Like, he should have a good game. Troy Franklin's going to get some action. All the above. Now, the other thing that's against the Broncos is this. Surtain is supposed to be out. If Surtain is out, then it gives an advantage to the Chiefs. Weather is not a factor, so they'll be able to fire at all cylinders. Tyquan Thornton, Rashid Rice, like everybody, right? Everybody should be Noah Gray, Travis Kelce, everybody but Pachenko. You probably see some dump offs to Edward Tolaire, screenplays to Travis Kelce, leak outs from Kareem Hunt for like right behind the linebackers. You're going to see a little bit of everything out of them. Kareem Hunt's going to run between the guards as well. Mahomes is going to spread everybody out. They're going to set up with trips and spread everything out, open up a lane, pocket collapse. So I'm not sure that the Chiefs losing the battle on the offensive line is a bad thing against them. It may be a good thing because now it allows Mahomes to get out, extend the play, do what he does, first downs, or dump off and get more positive yards as well. I'm excited to see this game and nervous. Excited and nervous. Where am I going to put my money? I'm putting my money on Mahomes to rush 20 yards. I'm going to pay the juice on that because the money line is 27. I'm going to put my money on Evan Ingram for 30 yards in receiving. I'm going to put my money on Mahomes to pass for 225. And I'm going to put the last one I'm going to grab for this game is going to be field goals. This is going to be an ugly game, and they're not going to be able to convert sometimes. The Chiefs defense will let when the field is big, they don't play as good, but when they're in the red zone, the Chiefs play a solid defense and they will make you punt. I love 2.5 total field goals for the whole game on this ticket. That's what I got for this. Who do I think is going to win? I got the Broncos winning this game. Major upset for the Chiefs. I got the Broncos winning this game just from what we just talked about. And the reason is I think their advantage of winning at home in Mile High Stadium. Really, really good defense. They blitz a lot. I think they're going to force some turnovers. And I think the Broncos are going to be able to capitalize on those turnovers. And Bo is going to have his way sitting in the pocket, pulling everything apart. The Chiefs are going to be very competitive. I see it coming down to the very, very end. 24-21 Broncos. And I'm going to bet that. I'm gonna bet the Broncos to win this game on the money line with those other player props, and I think it might happen. So as we wrap up the slate, I got the Eagles beating the Lions in this game. I like the Eagles defense to really be competitive and kind of suppress points good enough and keep the Lions at 21 points. I think this game we're going to see Saquon Barkley unleashed like the Kraken. We're going to see more of the tush push, first downs from the Eagles off of tush push, and Jalen Hurts is going to probably score tomorrow on tush push. I'm not paying attention to the soap opera stuff from AJ Brown. Um, they're going to have a really good game. Hurts is going to make some really good decisions. The Eagles are playing really, really good right now. Consistent football. I really like what they're doing. I'm going to do a separate video on this game and we'll really dissect it and pull it apart. But that's where I'm at with this game. I'm going with the Eagles over the Lions. I think that the Lions are going to score like we all know that they're going to. But the problem that the Lions have is their defensive line. I think they're going to exploit that on the Eagles side with Barkley. And Jalen Hurts is going to run probably tomorrow, opening up the lanes, and he's going to have like maybe 20 to 30 yards rushing. I just really, really, really like this game. Cowboys and the Raiders. I'm going with the Cowboys as of right now. I'll do a separate video on that for Monday Night Football, but I just have it on this slate and wanted to just talk about it. But I'm going with the Cowboys so far. I do not see a chance for Geno and the Raiders to win this game. However, they could. The Cowboys need this win, but the Raiders need a win too. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's what I got for the slate. I have some round robins for us for our bonus bets, and we'll drop into those right next. All right, so here's round robin number one. Commanders, Cowboys, Vikings, Ravens. Add in the other section that is here. Receiving yards, Haws, Odunze, Schultz. Receptions, Coker, Otten, Zacchaeus. Rushing yards, Managa, Jacobs, Bijan. Barkley for rushing plus receiving, along with Kyron Williams, and touchdowns Debo, Malik, and Tyler, and then passing yards for Matt Stafford, Love, and Josh Allen. I would probably bump down Stafford to 225, 200 for Jordan Love, Josh Allen 200. Pay the juice on those because added together to give you really good value with the rest of your parlay / round robin. Don't just do this as a parlay and not do round robin. Please do round robin. Please do round robin. Please do round robin. Thank yourself later. All combinations. Steelers, Chiefs, Ravens, 49ers, all of them coming off of a loss. I definitely like them in this particular game. Then you got your receiving yards, you got your receptions, you got your rushing yards, your alternate bets, which are rushing plus receiving, and Debo, Roma Dunze, and Derrick Henry on the touchdowns, and then take for Matt Stafford 2 touchdowns. I like him for that. Darnold and Josh Allen, I would bump down to Darnold at 225 and then take Allen at 200. Pay the juice on them, but add this into round robins as well. You can take it as a parlay if you want to, if that's your risk tolerance, but I'm going to stay away from that and deal with round robins. Do all combinations for this. I think this is like 8 games in total on a round robin ticket. Thank yourself later. All combinations, guaranteed to walk away with something. But that's what I got for this particular round robin. So, ladies and gentlemen, ladies, that brings us to the end of the show. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I hope you enjoyed the information. It's go time. It's go time. I'm probably going to be up all night working on some more tickets. I got some from earlier in the week where I got really, really good odds, some really good parlays, some really good round robins. We'd love to have you in the comments here in this community. Tell us what you think, what you going with. It might help somebody else in the community, or myself. I'll definitely take into consideration your bets as well and add them into something I have, or just do whatever you provide straight, whatever the case may be. We're better together. We're much better together. Trust me. Like, it's way too much information for one person to try to embody, right? Like, we have to compartmentalize and help each other on this journey. But anyway, that's all I got for this show. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's going to be a great week 11. Woo! Conference heavy, division heavy, wins, losses on the line, shocking positions. Attrition is setting in. Weather is setting in. We got some rain games that might throw things in our way. It's going to be crazy. I can't wait. I can't wait. We should have a huge bag on Sunday, and Monday. And you got NBA. And you got college basketball. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's nuts. Every day is bets. Oh God, I can't. Oh God, I don't even know if y'all understand. I don't know if you understand. But anyway, happy hunting. Got some videos here for you guys to check out, and I will check in with y'all later.
Lights on, game time, let's break it all down. From the spreads to the lines, who's up, who's down. We're crunching the numbers, calling the plays, talking all sports in a big